Death in Harry Potter is the most tragic scenes. You never know if your favorite character would make it to the next chapter or not. So in today's video, we'll be discussing 8 of the most devastating deaths in Harry Potter. Starting with Sirius Black. Although being wanted by the Ministry, Sirius arrived to rescue his godson when he realized he was in danger. Sirius' death at the hands of his cruel cousin Bellatrix was so sudden, it didn't seem real. One moment he was laughing at her and daring her to do better, the next he had disappeared behind the veil and that was it, he's gone. Harry's scream was muted and he was held back by Lupin. It's a moment that beautifully reflected his own feelings. Hadn't this boy been through enough? The closest connection to his parents was lost forever and left broken-hearted for him. It was just unfair for Sirius to die. He deserved a beautiful life in the end.
When all this is over, we'll be a proper family. We'll see.
All Sirius had experienced was a miserable childhood, the death of his best friend, spending 12 years in Azkaban, living as a number 1 wanted by the Ministry. It was tough for Sirius and he didn't deserve any of it. Severus Snape. At the moment of Severus' terrible death, Harry didn't truly know him. He was Dumbledore's killer, and the man Harry hated, and who by all accounts had hated him since he first set foot in Hogwarts. But then Harry was plunked into the Pensieve, and we learned the truth. It is so shocking and sad. Everything we thought we knew changed. Severus placed himself in constant danger for the woman he always loved, Lily Potter. Learning the truth about Snape brought acceptance of him as a loyal, devoted man, and probably one of the bravest Harry ever knew. What makes his death so devastating and sad is that Snape's last words were asking Harry to look at him, so his black eyes and Lily's green ones can reunite it again.
You have your mother's eyes.
Albus Dumbledore. Maybe you slumped the book shut at the moment Snape said,
Avada Kedavra.
or paused the film to just realize what really is going on. Because there was absolutely no way anyone could handle Dumbledore dying. It couldn't be real. As Harry thought on the next page, it could not have happened. It was so hard to absorb the enormous and mysterious truth that never again would Dumbledore appear on the next chapters. Never again could he help Harry in his Horcruxes mission. Never again would he make the students feel completely safe at the safest place in the Wizarding world, Hogwarts. Dobby the House Elf. It's so terribly sad, and here lies Dobby, a free elf, are 6 of the saddest words you'll ever read. Dobby was an innocent soul being murdered. He was a good heart and knew nothing but loyalty to those who treated him well. Dobby's death made Bellatrix's character even more evil, and some people did really hate her for doing that. I just wanted to see Dobby to go on and live. I wanted to see him at the Battle of Hogwarts alongside other house elves, fighting against Voldemort. Not to mention the amount of support he would have given Harry later if he'd lived. But unfortunately, fate had another opinion.
Harry Potter.
Fred Weasley. During the Battle of Hogwarts, it was almost too much to dare to look at the bodies of fallen characters, Fred Weasley in particular. J.K. Rowling tweeted how sorry she was at writing Fred's death, and all of the sadness came flooding back. His death is too much for words. His exciting young life cut short. The very notion of George without Fred. The dreadful effect on his parents and siblings. How could this possibly be? Fred died with his last laugh still etched upon his face. Ron broke down as we saw Molly stroking his forehead, desperately needing to comfort him. It was all kinds of devastating all at once. Fred died as a result of an explosion, simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's why it's hard to talk about his death, even after all these years.
You okay, Freddy? Yeah. Me too.
Cedric Diggory. We only had 2 books to get to know Cedric, but it would be unfair to only remember Cedric for his shocking death scene, when he made so much more impact than that. Cedric was a very handsome and popular at Hogwarts, a skilled Quidditch player, and a very talented student. In Dumbledore's words,
kind and honest and brave and true, right to the very end.
Cedric's parents were devastated by the fate that had been befalling their son. The event also hit Cho Chang so hard, and she cried a lot over him. Cedric's death was widely felt throughout the school. The leaving feast was turned into a memorial for him. It was a really terrible loss that Cedric died, as he was exceptionally hardworking, fair-minded, and most importantly a loyal person. Remus and Tonks. Remus had such a difficult life, and just when he'd found love and acceptance and become a father, he died. It's hard not to rage against something so tragic, and it was easy to understand Harry's reaction. He wished he could rip out his heart, his innards, everything that was screaming inside him. Clever, funny, and brave, Tonks was loyal, capable, and she fought for the person she wanted to be with. It was the strength of her love for Remus that brought her to Hogwarts for the final battle and ultimately to her death. All that promise and bravery was lost. Tonks and Remus were reunited in death, their bodies lying next to Fred, looking apparently asleep, beneath the dark enchanted ceiling.